Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Did you know that carbon-60 is 172 times more powerful than vitamin C as an antioxidant? This powerful molecule is scientifically proven to neutralize free radicals, reduce inflammation, and promote optimal energy. How does it work? C60 fights oxidative stress, the root cause of aging and disease, helping your body repair and rejuvenate naturally. It's like giving your cells a protective shield. Here's what our listeners have to say. Mike from Denver says,
C60 in olive oil has been perfect as my daily detox. I feel cleaner, lighter, and more energized every day.
Sarah from Houston says,
The C60 topical spray is incredible. I apply it to sore joints and within minutes, the pain and inflammation starts to fade.
order now at c60.com or call 720-600-6040. Use coupon code TAMMY, T-A-M-M-Y, for a special discount.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome. It is time for Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm so glad you're joining me today. It's a warm day here in northern Colorado, but I'll tell you, I should have taken pictures. Well, actually, I did take pictures. I should have sent them to Jason to show you, because last night I went out to run an errand, and when I got back, I happened to look up into the beautiful sky, and what did I see? But crisscross all over the dang sky. Am I the only one that this bothers? I'm so annoyed by it because, there's nothing we can do about it. And so it's so annoying. So what happens today? We have an overcast day. It's warm, but it's certainly overcast. I tell you, this stuff absolutely drives me crazy, but I guess all we can do, this is what I do when I see stuff like that. I say to myself, well, that doesn't apply to me. This is the power of your mind, right? The power of your mind. I'm like, I know they're spraying stuff. I know it's not good for me, but I reject it. I'm not going to accept it, and it does not apply to me. And then I move about my business. That's what I have to do. I mean, you see it everywhere, right? But there's nothing we can do about it. Hopefully, the awareness is growing and more people know, so we can get some answers to what is being sprayed in our skies and how it's impacting our health, hopefully. All right, what's in the news today? So much I found that I want to talk to you about today. Top topic I want to talk about today is artificial intelligence. So there was this 60 Minutes episode with a gentleman who I guess is very high up in the AI world. And he revealed a lot of things through this episode that are absolutely terrifying. No doubt about it. I mean, if you're one of those analog people like me and Jason, I just love describing us that way now. If you're an analog person and you're struggling with the digital revolution, which is what we are in right now, much like the industrialized revolution. This is the digital one. It's going to change everything. Oh boy, is it going to change everything. And it sucks. It sucks to be a Gen Xer in the digital revolution because it's just it's not us, I feel like it's not us. I mean, there's certainly Gen Xers. I can't speak for everybody. There's certainly Gen Xers that are all about technology, and that's cool. But if you're like me, it just feels like we're losing part of ourselves as we move into this digital world. And I want to go ahead and share this clip with you from 60 Minutes, and then we'll talk about it. It's going to be interesting, people. It's going to be really interesting as we move into the digital age fully. We're already headed there. We're already there in many cases, but I'm not sure we can wrap our brains around how this is going to impact our daily life. So take a listen to this clip.
It's a step toward AGI, artificial general intelligence, with the versatility of a human mind. On track for AGI
in the next 5 to 10 years, I think.
And in 2030, you will have what?
Well, we'll have a system that really understand everything around you in very nuanced and deep ways and kind of embedded in your everyday life.
Embedded like Astra in eyeglasses. What can you tell me about this building I'm looking at?
This is the Cold Drops Yard, a shopping and dining district.
She sees what I see. There's a speaker.
everyone, I think, we can be impressed by the bells and whistles of AI, right? Like, sure, that's really cool. Think about it. You've got these cool glasses on and you're walking around the world and it's speaking to you in your ear about all the history of things and teaching you as you go along in your life and stuff. But there's so much focus on that and not very much focus on what will be lost with living like that. So just think about that, right? You're walking through the world. I guess we're already there because people walk around with headphones on and they're listening to stuff all the time and they're plugged into their phones. So, I've seen it. People walk right off a curb or they walk into a pole because they're so distracted. But this is going to be next level, in my opinion, because you're going to be really thinking about what you're being told. And there's not going to be time or even reason to connect with the people around you. And that's going to be really weird. We are going to, you know how I always talk about technology-induced brain dysfunction, what we're losing with that, right? What we are losing with the integration of technology into our being is that ability to detect nuance, the ability to connect with empathy with another person, the ability to enjoy sarcasm, which is, a highlight of Gen X's existence. And we're losing some of that stuff. We're losing the ability to communicate with each other. So much is being lost because we're filling it in with technology. And wow, this 60 Minutes interview is a lot longer, obviously. And he goes into all of the different ways that there's nothing, you've heard it before, there's nothing that won't be impacted by AI. But I think when we think of that, we think of business, right? We think of the economy and jobs. And we don't so much as focus on personal relationships. We don't so much focus on how it will change humanity. Like just the interaction with other people is going to be altered by AI so much. And what does that mean for our intelligence? What does that mean for our, because there's all kinds of intelligences, right? There's the people say it all the time, like, they're really book smart, or this person's really street smart, or this person has a lot of emotional intelligence, or there's several areas that people really excel in, and you don't have to be just one thing to be successful in life, right? And so if you don't have that book smart intelligence, perhaps you can develop your communication skills and be of value in that way. And AI is going to completely transform our communication skills. And those of us who have developed communication skills in the real world, like in reality, I think are going to struggle with this changeover. And I think those people who have not developed their communication skills in the real world, technology-induced type stuff, right? This technology-induced, the people who already struggle with in-person communication, they're going to have this tool that won't force them out of their little square, their comfort zone. I think we saw that a lot with COVID. People who were socially uncomfortable, they didn't mind wearing the mask. People who, would prefer to communicate online, they didn't mind shifting all their work to Zoom. It was the social people, the people who thrive around other people, who really suffered during COVID. And so I don't know how this whole artificial intelligence is going to play out in the real world, but I think we all feel it. I know we do, because I continue to see leaders and people who post online with, followings and whatnot, talk about this urge to connect with nature. We're all feeling it, especially the intuitive types. We're feeling it. We're feeling like, oh, I just want to get back to nature. I want to get back to common sense. I want to put my feet in the ground. I want to grow a garden. I want to connect to animals. I want to go out into the mountains. And everyone keeps kind of signaling that in the conversation. And yet the train is going full speed ahead towards more technology, towards more interaction, to the singularity, or whatever you want to call it, the merger. I don't know about you, but I'm hanging on to dear life, to nature. I feel like it's definitely our anchor, and we're going to lose grasp of it if we're not careful. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Have you heard about the powerful health benefits of medicinal mushrooms? Take our preferred medicinal mushrooms for immune support, gut health, antioxidant properties, stress and sleep, heart health, liver protection, blood sugar regulation, cholesterol reduction, anti-cancer properties, cognitive health, mood and mental health, heart health, antibacterial and antiviral, and so much more. Available in easy-to-take capsules, great-tasting gummies, and our special coffee blends.
Since adding these mushrooms to my daily routine, my cholesterol levels have improved, and I feel more confident about my heart health.
Taking one of these blends before bed has been a game changer. I fall asleep faster and I wake up feeling truly refreshed.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Did you know that 60% of American adults live with at least one chronic disease? At Inside Health, they take the mystery out of wellness with extensive testing and customized lifestyle plans, all from the comfort of your home.
I've struggled with low energy and digestive issues for years, and no doctor could give me real answers. Working with Inside Health was a game changer.
As a mom, I'm always putting my family's health first, but I was neglecting my own. Inside Health changed that. I started feeling better almost immediately.
Inside Health Services help you and your family achieve whole body health with non-invasive, personalized care. They listen to your concerns and health goals. They will pinpoint areas where your body needs support. They will create a simple, actionable plan just for you. Call them today, 970-685-8060, or visit InsideHealth.com.
Did you know that carbon 60 is 172 times more powerful than vitamin C as an antioxidant? This powerful molecule is scientifically proven to neutralize free radicals, reduce inflammation, and promote optimal energy. How does it work? C60 fights oxidative stress, the root cause of aging and disease, helping your body repair and rejuvenate naturally. It's like giving your cells a protective shield. Here's what our listeners have to say. Mike from Denver says,
C60 in olive oil has been perfect as my daily detox. I feel cleaner, lighter, and more energized every day.
Sarah from Houston says,
The C60 topical spray is incredible. I apply it to sore joints, and within minutes, the pain and inflammation starts to fade.
Order now at c60.com or call 720-600-6040. Use coupon code TAMMY, T-A-M-M-Y, for a
Thanks so much for tuning in to Naturally Inspired Radio. This is where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system. We connect you to a real health solution and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want you to feel empowered. We want you to be informed, and we want you to be able to live free naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. So thanks so much for tuning in. If you love watching Naturally Inspired Radio, you can now watch it 24/7. We've launched Naturally Inspired Radio 24/7, streaming live on Rumble around the clock. Catch our latest episodes featuring real health talk you won't hear anywhere else. So just search Naturally Inspired Radio 24/7 on Rumble and tune in. Please, please, please make sure that you subscribe. We're getting thousands of views, and people are just forgetting to subscribe. And that helps us get the message out there more and connect people to real solutions for health. So ding, ding, ding. Just hit the little button and become a subscriber. It would help so much. Okay, a couple things. So how can we be healthy and happy as we move through the digital revolution, right? Because I'm with you. Like when I first heard about this AI stuff, I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a huge problem. And I did notice that nobody was listening to people like Elon, right? Elon was making visits to the White House. He was pounding on doors, anybody that would listen to him and say, hey, and we're talking like back in the Obama years, he was doing this. He was like, listen, we've got to put some regulations on this AI thing because this is a real problem. Like it could take over humanity. And nobody wanted to listen to him. And so I guess maybe that's kind of part of the blessing of COVID. I can't believe I just said that. Not blessing, but, there was some silver linings. And I think one of it was that it exposed corruption and it exposed, the malfeasance of our agencies and these governing bodies. It exposed that. And so it brought a lot of attention to the fact that, hey, maybe we can't actually rely on this mechanism of, government to save us or to protect us from things, because there are huge conglomerates of business in biotech, in technology especially. I say it over and over again, there is no separation now between technology and health. And so I think that's what COVID did, is it brought a lot of attention and people started to realize, oh my gosh, this is a problem, and maybe we can't just sit back idly and watch as the government regulates and keeps our best interest in mind, because that's not happening. And they just, a lot of people say, they overplayed their hand during COVID, and they certainly did. They thought they had ramped up fear so high that they would be able to tell everybody anything and we would run and do it. And some of us, we don't actually watch TV. So you missed us, we didn't actually hop on the fear bus because we don't watch a lot of TV, or we had exposure to enough real information that we could see through the lies. But anyway, that's what I think it did. So that's, how can we live through this digital revolution and be happy? In this interview, he talks about, the 60 Minutes interview, he talks about how artificial intelligence still can't really form a question on its own. It can't really come up with ideas on its own. So it's something that that humans have to work with at this point in the game. Now, will it always be like that? I don't know. But I tell you what I do know. If we run away from it, if good people run away from artificial intelligence, if they do not, try to work with it to understand how it's being implemented and how it's going to impact our lives, then we've got no chance. We've got no chance of having positive outcomes with it. And there is no getting away from it. It's here. It's already being used. It's already being implemented. Like other countries are using it. We can't walk away from it. So that's like totally off the table now. And I think has been for a long time. I was delusional. I'll just tell you, 5 years ago, I was delusional. I was like, oh, maybe they'll stop it. We got to stop it. It's not stopping. It's not stopping, but it's okay. I do think that we can live through the digital revolution and come out the other side and be happy and healthy. So what can we do? What this clinging to nature that I talk about, I was just talking about, I think that's almost like God's cue to us to say, hey, these other things are probably going to go away, and you're not going to be able to do them anymore. This is what you need to focus on. This is what you need to focus on. Cling to nature, provide the things that aren't going to be able to be provided through artificial intelligence. And I'll tell you one thing that won't be provided through artificial intelligence: your story, right? Your story is individual to you. And I truly believe that's how we learn the best, is by really sitting down and listening to other people's stories and connecting with their life experience. I think that's the most powerful way to learn. And so we have to think about how we're going to be operating in this world, how we can, remain, needed, how we can contribute to society, how we can create, because we know that AI doesn't really create. I mean, it creates off of humans. You have to prompt it, right? You have to prompt it to create right now. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the closer you get to your humanness, your empathy, your story, all of the things that can't be simulated by artificial intelligence, I think the happier we'll be. And the more relevant we'll remain in the marketplace and whatnot. And I think it's really important that we all start looking at it. How do we fit into it, rather than how do we repel it? How do we fight it? How do we get it out of here? Because that ain't happening. That is not happening. And maybe it's okay that it's not happening. I'm excited about some of the stuff in medicine that could be coming from AI. Now, I'm not talking about mRNA injections. I'm not talking about altering genes here. I'm not talking about any of the, transhuman type stuff, but I am talking about solving problems. We have a lot of problems in health, and perhaps this amount of data compiled and being able to crunch that amount of data with case studies, especially, is what I think of. Case studies loaded into an AI could be very powerful when it comes to coming up with a solution. It can crunch data and it can come up with solutions so much faster. And that we have to remember, all this is built off of humans, right? The AI what it has done is it's been programmed. Every keystroke, right? Every keystroke, everything we've done online has been programming AI. From those CAPTCHA things, where you program it and tell it, this is a bike, this is a car, this is a, street sign or whatever. That was all programming the open AI model, teaching it how to be human. So it can be a tool. And I think that has to be our goal moving forward if we're going to be able to live in peace, be happy, and be healthy. We're going to have to learn that it's a tool and create our own personal, individual parameters around it so that it doesn't invade on our space and our freedoms or be weaponized against us. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this break.
Have you heard about the powerful health benefits of medicinal mushrooms? Take our preferred medicinal mushrooms for immune support, gut health, antioxidant properties, stress and sleep, heart health, liver protection, blood sugar regulation, cholesterol reduction, anti-cancer properties, cognitive health, mood and mental health, heart health, antibacterial and antiviral, and so much more. Available in easy-to-take capsules, great-tasting gummies, and our special coffee blends.
Since adding these mushrooms to my daily routine, my cholesterol levels have improved, and I feel more confident about my heart health.
Taking one of these blends before bed has been a game changer. I fall asleep faster and I wake up feeling truly refreshed.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Save it to your favorites and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Social connection is one of the biggest predictors of long-term health. Wish you had a community that gets it? Want to surround yourself with others that love living naturally? With the Naturally Inspired Backstage Pass, join a tribe of truth seekers. Choose bronze, silver, or gold and get an experienced Q&A, uncut interviews, and more. Go silver or gold now and get a 15 serving of Good Brew shipped to you. So all you have to do is tap Backstage Pass at naturallyinspiredradio.com and become part of this awesome community right here at Naturally Inspired Radio. Okay, next up, I want to talk about Jesse Watters. Jesse Watters is getting brave, and rightfully so, because the climate is so much easier to be brave in these days on the news and in the media. Now that we have, our Robert Kennedy Jr. in Trump's administration and Trump, it's a lot safer now. You don't get as canceled like I did. So Jesse Watters had RFK on, and I have a clip from it. This is really good news, and I think September is going to be one heck of a month, let me tell you. Take a listen to this clip.
You just mentioned COVID-19. We're seeing reports that you're considering removing the COVID vaccine as a mandatory shot for children. And we're also seeing that Fauci doubled his fortune over the last couple years, right after the pandemic. Are you going to look into how that happened?
Well, in terms of President Trump doesn't believe that anybody should get mandatory vaccines. There's a medical intervention. It has risks. People should make that choice for themselves. The COVID vaccine, the recommendation for children was always dubious. And it was dubious because kids had almost no risk for COVID-19. Certain kids that had very profound morbidities may have a slight risk. Most kids don't. So why are we giving this to tens of millions of kids when the vaccine itself does have profound risk? We've seen huge associations with myocarditis and pericarditis, with strokes, with other injuries, with neurological injuries. And this was clear even in the clinical data that came out of Pfizer. There were actually more deaths. There were about 23% more deaths in the vaccine group than the placebo group. So, we need to ask questions and we need to consult with parents. We need to give people informed consent, and we shouldn't be making.
This is, he's absolutely right. First of all, kids had almost no chance of dying from COVID. Their survival rate was teetering on 100%. Any kid that died from COVID had some kind of illness, disease already. They had a comorbidity that was pretty serious. And we allowed the mafia medical model, right? The mafia of big pharma, big insurance, and all of its counterparts, the whole mechanism of the healthcare model to pressure our medical practitioners into administering a shot that was known to be harmful. And I still can't get my mind around that. I can't get my mind around the fact that more people did not stand up and say, no, these are the children. These are kids. They have almost no risk here. And this thing has been shown to cause myocarditis. And you can say, oh, well, we didn't know that. We didn't know that. But we did. If you went to the product website, there was a list of things that were of concern. Number two, it never, ever was tested for stopping transmission. So therefore, it made no sense. Why does everybody have to get it if it doesn't stop transmission? We used kids as a shield. Well, you and I didn't. But this gross, disgusting apparatus, they used kids as a shield. They said, you have to protect grandma. You have to protect the vulnerable. And they conned mothers. Yeah, they conned you. They conned mothers into lining their kids up to do the right thing. We have not realized the full consequences to the mRNA technology yet. We have no idea the consequences that will come from these young children taking this injection. We haven't even begun to see. I mean, we've seen acute fallout, meaning we've seen kids that have had heart attacks. We've seen kids that have died in their sleep. We've seen kids that have multi-inflammatory system syndrome. We've seen clots, strokes, turbo cancer. But we haven't even begun to see the infertility fallout from this, which yesterday we covered at the top story. as Elon was pointing out, that this is the main issue for us right now, is that our numbers are dropping. And it's serious drop in population, threatening to our existence. So we haven't even begun to see that. Why did they do this? Why did they, we can go down all the speculative stuff, but here is the stuff on the surface. When you get a vaccine on the childhood schedule, it gets a permanent position. It gets permanent liability relief. It gets locked in, so to speak. And so they wanted that position. Not only that, but this was a way to signal to the public, to the adults in the world, that this thing is so safe, we have it on the childhood schedule. This is the gold standard of safety, right? Much like they used pregnant women to signal to the rest of the population just how safe this thing was. It's so safe that pregnant women can take it. Because we all know, right? Pregnant women have to be careful. They have to be careful with sushi, for goodness sakes. They have to be careful with unpasteurized honey. They have to don't drink any red wine even. Don't drink any alcohol at all, right? That's the standard for a pregnant woman. And so if the experts say this is safe enough for a pregnant woman, well then, it's got to be safe for everybody. It was the psychology that they were after. It was the psychology that they were after to signal everybody must take this thing. It's absolutely disgusting. And now we're seeing, this information now is being shared mainstream. Fox News is mainstream. And I feel like there isn't the right response to it. I feel like, I don't know if it's because we all have PTSD. Like, I laugh, but seriously, do we all have PTSD? Because this is the biggest, crime against humanity, I think, ever conducted, because it was global, right? And it went on for years and it's still going on. People lost their jobs, their livelihoods, their homes, their business, like everything. And most importantly, they lost a lot of relationships. They lost family members and friends and whole communities. And so this is important stuff. And I feel like it's like, I feel like I have to pinch myself sometimes. I'm like, am I like, this is on Fox News. I was hiding. I was pushed off of, I wasn't hiding. I was forced to hide on places like BitChute and Rumble and, all these other alternative platforms for saying this very stuff that's being said on Fox News now, right? It is surreal. And yet there isn't really the appropriate response to it. You would think that people would be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I got sucked into this and look at this new information. But instead, they're still knee deep. They're shoulder deep in the propaganda and the cult. And they're simply dismissing all of the information with this kind of blanket of like, oh yeah, but that's, Trump's in office. Trump's in office. So, that's just like Trump stuff, I guess. Like, no, look at the facts. Look at the facts here. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about facts. Who cares about Trump? Do you really hate Trump more than you care about the safety of your kid? Because that's what I'm getting from some people. They're willing to dismiss this very important information because of the messenger and the party of the messenger. It's fascinating. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't roll that dice ever. Ever, ever, ever. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. When we come back, we have our Naturally Inspired moment. You're not going to want to miss it. Stay tuned.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Just like us, pets need targeted nutrition to thrive, not just survive. Is your pet getting what they really need? Want solutions that support digestion, coat health, joints, and more? We've got your pack covered with tasty, clean pet supplements, food, and treats that they'll love. You get free shipping with orders over $49. So if you're buying pet food, buy it with Naturally Inspired. It's support our mission to connect people to real solutions for health. So visit naturallyinspiredstore.com and treat your pet right. For today's Naturally Inspired moment, I want to talk about confronting the weakest version of yourself. This can be very painful and hard to do, especially if you're one, that your perception of yourself is strength, right? You've gone through a lot of things, and you're at a certain point in your life, and you think, I'm really strong. I can handle a lot. It's really hard to confront the weakest version of yourself. But if you don't confront the weakest version of yourself, then you can't move forward. You can't get different outcomes. You can't get the results that you're really chasing. So you have to kind of take a deep breath, take a deep breath in and out, and really decide, I'm going to confront the weakest version of myself. Here's how you do it. Number one, you have to accept that your own choices have landed you in the very situation that you're in. And that can be tough because even the strongest and toughest of people, we can tend to look for reasons why we're where we're at. We can blame people. We can blame our circumstances. And we want to believe that those things happen to us. And that's why we have the set of circumstances that we have in front of us today. And the truth is that those things may have happened. And I want to be very clear about this. Because you recognize and take personal responsibility for something, it doesn't release the blame on anyone that has done you wrong or committed terrible things against you. It doesn't release them of the blame. What it does is it empowers you to be able to act on things to get better outcomes. When you're reliant, when you place the blame on somebody else, there's not a lot you can do about it. You have to wait for them to act. And you may be waiting your whole life for that. So, confronting the weakest version of yourself is taking a look at that thing that you blame other people for, and saying, okay, they may have done that to me, but I have choices. I have choices. And so the next thing is stopping the blame game. That's a choice. Putting the blame on someone else is a choice. It's not your fault, right? It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility if you want to get better outcomes. So it has to be this way simply because you don't have any control over your circumstances. I mean, we can plan, we can strategize, we can minimize things, variables that cause bad outcomes, but ultimately we can't control everything. And if you try to control everything, you're going to drive yourself crazy because it's impossible. First of all, we can't even control other people's perception of us. We have no control over how other people think about us. None. And yet we're our actions are constantly being influenced by what other people will think of us. Isn't that crazy when you think about it? To not do something or to do something because of somebody else's perception of you that you have no control over. But yet that governs many people's lives. It governs their life in the way that they won't take a risk because they don't know what people will say about them. They don't express themselves because they don't really want people to see them in that light. The only problem with that is maybe you're pleasing other people, but you're not pleasing yourself. And maybe you're not happy with your results that you have. And you're not able to move past that, what other people think of you, in order to get those better results. So you can take full control of how you navigate your circumstances by the choices that you make. This can be really hard to face some of this stuff because when you spend a lot of time, thinking that you have the results because of the circumstances that other people have inflicted upon you and that you don't have any control over it, you get into a way of thinking that perpetuates that. Everyone kind of has two versions of themselves, okay? One is who they want to be, in your mind, who you want to be, and then who you let yourself be. Who are you letting yourself be? Because you care about other people's perception of you, because you don't think that you have the talent maybe to do anything else. Complacency, I think, is a variable, where this is good enough because my basic needs are being met. But what I talked about at the beginning of the show with artificial intelligence, I think it's going to push more people to be who they want to be, because who they let themselves be isn't going to be as easy. Because a lot of those things that we do out of convenience will be gone. So a lot of these, say you take a job because it's there and it's convenient. It's not what you wanted to do, but it's there and it paid good and it had health insurance. So why not? I think a lot of that stuff is going to go away, and we're going to be forced to be who we want to be, because we're not going to have another choice. There isn't going to be any fallbacks, or there certainly won't be as many fallbacks. And so that's going to be a really interesting time, right? We're going to have to claim who we are, because our humanness is going to be our value in the marketplace. So now's the best possible time ever. And I think a lot of people are doing this. I think a lot of people feel like it's time to do this. And maybe that's just the vibration of the world as we move into the digital sphere of things even more. I think a lot of people are doing some soul searching, and they're looking how to connect better with themselves and how to connect with other people as well. And that means that you have to confront the weakest version of yourself. The blame game is at the top of that list, right? Accepting personal responsibility for the choices that you've made that have equaled the outcomes that you have today. It's okay. We say this over and over again. We say, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, right? But yet we judge everybody. We judge everybody. We're all guilty of it. We accept that nobody's perfect, but yet we judge everybody. So there's some conflict there. And I think that's what keeps people, letting themselves be that version of themselves that just is complacent and not really becoming who they want to be. So confront the weakest version of yourself today and start moving forward. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. We're going into hour 2. I've got news stories. I've got a health topic, and so much more to cover. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. NaturallyInspiredRadio.com.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Did you know that carbon-60 is 172 times more powerful than vitamin C as an antioxidant? This powerful molecule is scientifically proven to neutralize free radicals, reduce inflammation, and promote optimal energy. How does it work? C60 fights oxidative stress, the root cause of aging and disease, helping your body repair and rejuvenate naturally. It's like giving your cells a protective shield. Here's what our listeners have to say. Mike from Denver says,
C60 in olive oil has been perfect as my daily detox. I feel cleaner, lighter, and more energized every day.
Sarah from Houston says,
The C60 topical spray is incredible. I apply it to sore joints, and within minutes, the pain and inflammation starts to fade.
Order now at c60.com or call 720-600-6040. Use coupon code TAMMY, T-A-M-M-Y, for a special discount.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, Explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. NaturallyInspiredRadio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
I just love that song. Consistency is the number one predictor of lasting lifestyle change. So what if 1 hour a week could radically improve your health and mindset? Ready to turn inspiration into action? Join a Naturally Inspired weekly cohort. We have several. So raising healthy kids. This is something people really want to learn about. Unmedicated children. That's a real concern for people. How do I say no to medications? How do I teach my children how to live in prevention? Right? This is a real concern. Lifestyle transformation and weight loss, COVID trauma recovery and emotional healing. Many people suffering from the fallout of COVID. We also have a gut health reset and metabolic repair track that we're going to be doing once a week. So you can start your journey by texting me 720-303-8868. Get on the wait list. Right now, I'm just compiling the groups. And once we have the groups intact, then you will get instructions on how to get signed up. So take advantage of this. Group coaching is the future. It is the future of medicine. A lot of you expressed to me you're actually afraid to go to your doctor's office these days because you don't want to be pressured into, medical procedures or prescriptions. So time to get serious about prevention, right? Start now. Start living in prevention so that you don't land in a doctor's office one day and find yourself at the mercy of whatever protocols are the standard mandate at that time. Now is the time. It truly is the time to make America healthy again. So join us. Just text me, 720-303-8868. Happy to connect you to whatever track fits you best. Joe Ladapo, I would call this guy a hero. I really would. One of the first doctors, in a sitting position, a sitting state position to express some hesitancy and some common sense around COVID. And he's not stopping there. I'll tell you, he keeps on going. So I was really happy to see this short clip. This is Dr. Joseph Ladapo down in Florida fighting for parental rights. Take a listen.
We hear in the Department of Health so often about certain themes. And one of those themes is moms and dads who are having trouble finding a pediatrician because in their area, the pediatricians will not see their kid if they deviate at all from the vaccine schedule issued by the CDC. And we are in a new era. There are more people now asking questions about what's really best for my kid after the last few years we've been in. There are way more parents. Most of these parents aren't even parents that don't want any vaccines for their kids. That's the minority of the parents. Most of them are parents who just don't feel like it's appropriate, it's in the best interest for their kid to get, 4 vaccines in one visit, which is part of the CDC schedule. And there are pediatric practices, I can tell you in Pinellas County, most of them, they will not even entertain deviations. So parents who just want to spread their vaccines out because they think that's what's in the best interest for their kid. And I find that very sympathetic. I am very sympathetic to that cause. And some of these parents have the resources, it's not easy, to pay out of pocket to see a doctor who will see their kid and respect their preferences. Some of them have to travel far. One of the senators we met with shared the story of a close family member of his who actually has to travel and talks to the senator about this because this particular mom just wants to spread out the vaccines or, has some.
Let me just tell you, if you're a doctor, if you're a doctor listening to this show, you probably don't need this message, but like tell your colleagues, like you're alienating your patients. You are alienating your patients, and the culture around healthcare is not good. It is not good. And you siding with the establishment on this stuff is only going to hurt you. Because as Dr. Ladapo said here, it's a new era. It's a new era. It's a new era. What does that mean? What era is that? What era are we in now? We are in the era of you are no longer the expert until you prove to me that you're the expert. That's the era we're in now. We're in the era of critical thinking. We're in the area of personal responsibility for our healthcare. We're in the era of patient-doctor relationship. We're in the era of the follow-up. There's a concept. A follow-up. Instead of a 7-minute, write your prescription out the door, see you later. That's over. That's over. Let me tell you what I saw today. Tony Robbins, who I love Tony Robbins. I struggled with Tony Robbins at the beginning of the pandemic because he came out strong with a wonderful documentary about what was going on with COVID. He knew. He absolutely knew. He interviewed some of the same people I interviewed, Dr. Scott Jensen, and he said, okay, everybody relax, right? This is good news. It's not as bad as we think. He did this wonderful documentary, short film, and then he disappeared. And when he disappeared, I have to tell you, I was upset that he disappeared. And I didn't understand why he took the position that he did. And I got over it. As I started to understand the severity and the power and control that the medical mafia has and that the globalists have and that these conglomerates of corporations have over everything. It's just like what we were talking about yesterday. Peter Thiel, right? Hugely powerful guy. He's telling you, we don't get things done, not because of science and information or lack of it. It's because of this mafia that we have to operate in. We have to operate within these mafias that are these huge conglomerates of corporations that dictate what we can and cannot do. So back to Tony Robbins. I see today that he's got this company that is essentially establishing elite medical care. It's going to be a resort type experience. So you go to these hotels, they have full concierge type medical service, longevity care, right? So you can probably get all the latest biohacking testing that we can't get because insurance doesn't cover it. He's offering that to people. It's for tens of thousands of dollars. And what Tony's doing is responding to the marketplace. Because you see it now all over social media, people traveling to Turkey to get care that they can't get here or care that they can get way cheaper there than they can here. And I'm telling you, it's because we have this mafia-like model And it's not hyperbole to say it's mafia-like. It truly is. They would rather you die than allow a cure or a medicine that solves a problem for you that they don't get a piece of. It's true. It's true. And so that's what Tony Robbins is doing. He's got this, company. They're offering this. More people are tapping out of health insurance and into more of like a concierge type of medicine. And Joe Ladapo is telling you loud and clear, parents aren't happy with you, doctors. They're not happy with you. You have to admit at some point, like these physicians that have gone through the indoctrination of medical school are going to have to branch out and get new education and serve the people the way they want to be served. How's this going to happen? It's kind of exciting when you think about it. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
Have you heard about the powerful health benefits of medicinal mushrooms? Take our preferred medicinal mushrooms for immune support, gut health, antioxidant properties, stress and sleep, heart health, liver protection, blood sugar regulation, cholesterol reduction, anti-cancer properties, cognitive health, mood and mental health, heart health, antibacterial and antiviral, and so much more. Available in easy-to-take capsules, great-tasting gummies, and our special coffee blends.
Since adding these mushrooms to my daily routine, my cholesterol levels have improved, and I feel more confident about my heart health.
Taking one of these blends before bed has been a game changer. I fall asleep faster and I wake up feeling truly refreshed.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Did you know that 60% of American adults live with at least one chronic disease? At Inside Health, they take the mystery out of wellness with extensive testing and customized lifestyle plans, all from the comfort of your home.
I've struggled with low energy and digestive issues for years, and no doctor could give me real answers. Working with Inside Health was a game changer.
As a mom, I'm always putting my family's health first, but I was neglecting my own. Inside Health changed that. I started feeling better almost immediately.
Inside Health services help you and your family achieve whole body health with non-invasive personalized care. They listen to your concerns and health goals. They will pinpoint areas where your body needs support. They will create a simple, actionable plan just for you. Call them today, 970-685-8060, or visit InsideHealth.com.
Did you know that carbon 60 is 172 times more powerful than vitamin C as an antioxidant? This powerful molecule is scientifically proven to neutralize free radicals, reduce inflammation, and promote optimal energy. How does it work? C60 fights oxidative stress, the root cause of aging and disease, helping your body repair and rejuvenate naturally. It's like giving your cells a protective shield. Here's what our listeners have to say. Mike from Denver says,
C60 in olive oil has been perfect as my daily detox. I feel cleaner, lighter, and more energized every day.
Sarah from Houston says,
The C60 topical spray is incredible. I apply it to sore joints, and within minutes, the pain and inflammation starts to fade.
Order now at c60.com or call 720-600-6040. Use coupon code TAMMY, TAMMY, for a
The average grocery store item travels over 1,500 miles before it reaches your plate. Want to fuel your body with better food and better supplements? Look for clean, local nutrition you can trust. That's what I always say. Shop grass-fed beef, essential oils, practitioner-recommended supplements, and more at Naturally Inspired Store. Just go to naturallyinspiredstore.com and feel the difference real health makes. We're adding all kinds of products to this Naturally Inspired Store, so keep checking back. I really want to load it up. I want to connect you to the most real solutions for health that I possibly can, because every time you tap into a real solution, you're tapping out of this demonstrous model that I talk about all the time. I mean, I really can't stress how bad it is out there. I was watching today too, another doctor who was doing videos about insurance, and gosh, it's really bad. You know, they're trying to get care for their patients. They're trying to be a doctor. They're trying to serve their patient in the best capacity they can. And it's like the insurance companies have a stronghold on them, on what they're able to do. Physicians need to come together and unite and break through this model, because y'all went to school for a really long time and you paid a lot of money to become doctors. And you should be mad. You should be mad at what's happening here. And instead of just being complacent and going along to get along, it's not going to work out well. You know, we saw that with Obamacare, right? Obamacare came in, destroyed the small business practice, the physician's small business practice, made it so it was way too tedious dealing with these insurance companies and dealing with doctors go, I don't want to do it. I'm just going to work for a hospital system. But the problem with working for a hospital system is you don't actually get to practice medicine. You have to follow the protocols, and you got to do whatever they tell you to do. Otherwise, you don't have a job. And they're telling you whatever you got to do because it's all about their bottom line. It's about cost savings. It's about protocol. It's about liability. It's about compliance. It's about all the red tape. And about this much of it is about patient care. Not very much. And the public can't help you, right? Patients can't help you become a better doctor unless you're willing to become a better doctor by breaking through the model. And I don't know how we get here, but Latipo hits the nail on the head here. There's parents have every reason to be hesitant right now. What authority does the CDC legitimately have right now? What authority? They have ruined their authority. They gave us all the wrong advice. How do we know it's the wrong advice? Well, because we've looked into the actual material, the actual data, and we know that what they've been telling us isn't true. And now we even have it posted on the White House website. You know, it's like become common knowledge now. And physicians are still trying to hide under the umbrella of the CDC and the establishment and the medical recommendations and all that. And parents are going, yeah, no, no, we'll go somewhere else. They're traveling out of state to go see doctors who will honor their parental rights and their choices. So if you're going to stick to the model, you know, I mean, you're in a precarious situation if you're a doctor that complied with all of the COVID nonsense. In my opinion, you're in a precarious situation because you complied with the corporation because I'm just doing my job. But at the same time, that corporation is working at fast lightning speed to eliminate you. Oh yeah, the AI doctor is going to be the new doctor, right? They're not going to need your body in there except for very specialized procedures. So I would say, you know, if you can muster up any type of courage to get out of the model, I would do it now. Should have done it a long time ago, really. But I certainly would do it now because they're not going to be there for you. And parents have every right to be questioning everything right now when it comes to the medical model. Very little of what was pushed upon us over the last 5 years turned out to be coming from a genuine place of care for public health. So it's interesting. It's interesting. We are indeed in a new era. That is for sure. Speaking of that and the evidence, I just had a thought this morning again. I was like, remember that lab leak document that came out last week? Remember that lab leak document, the one that had all the stuff on it that said, yeah, we know that masks were a lie. We know that, social distancing was a lie. We know that the virus didn't come from a wet market in Wuhan, but it actually came through funded gain of function research. And we know that Fauci lied in some emails. And we know, remember all that? That was printed out in a nice 500 and something page document for everybody to read. Did nobody read it? Again, I'm going to go back to the whole, we're not having appropriate responses to things anymore. And I don't know if it's just because we have PTSD. We're tired. Everybody's tired. I'm so tired. I know. But also, are they going to get away with all this? Are they going to get away with all this? Because I'm not seeing really any reaction. And thank goodness I'm not the only one that's thinking this. Because Glenn Beck happened to notice the same thing. So I have a couple clips for you I want to share from Glenn Beck about this very topic. Here's the first one.
We have learned over the past few years on this topic. I think the key thing,
but you know what? I still don't think that it is recognized as the official thing. I mean, this has been out now for a long time. We started doing most of this stuff we had within 6 or 8 months of the actual outbreak. We knew by the summer, and we were broadcasting all of this, and we didn't have all of the documents, but we had everything that led up to the document that said, hey, we got to change all this. We had the document before going, hey, I think you guys are wrong. Then a document that said, we should probably talk offline. And then the next document we had was, no, everything we were saying is the complete opposite now. We didn't have the middle document there. And that's been released now. So we had all of this stuff, just not the smoking guns. All the smoking guns are there. And I still don't think, and it's partially because who's going to jail over this? Millions
of people did indeed die. And we now know that the research was funded and that it came from a lab and that there was a cover-up to try to, cover up the origins of it. We know that once the virus was in play, there seemed to be a plan, to roll out the new mRNA technology. They abused the citizenry of this country by torturing them with things like masks and social distancing and making people miss their funerals and weddings and graduations and planned events that you only really get one shot at in life. There's a lot. There's a lot here. And it just feels like there isn't an appropriate response. And it's maybe because people haven't come out of their trauma yet. I think there's this other component to it as well that, that's just Trump. That's just Trump printing that stuff, right? That's just the right. The extreme right is printing that stuff. It doesn't mean it's true. I have to try to understand why. Because, if I had not known and I went along with everything they told me to do, and then I saw a document like this from the White House and there's sourced materials cited in it, evidence, I'd be like, what the heck, right? What? I I altered my life for this. I wore the mask. I took these experimental injections. I did all these things, and you lied? You would think that would be the response, but it isn't. In fact, there's crickets. There's no acknowledgement. Your media, your mainstream legacy media, absolute crickets. Not even talking about it. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more about this and our health topic. You're not going to want to miss it.
Have you heard about the powerful health benefits of medicinal mushrooms? Take our preferred medicinal mushrooms for immune support, gut health, antioxidant properties, stress and sleep, heart health, liver protection, blood sugar regulation, cholesterol reduction, anti-cancer properties, cognitive health, mood and mental health, heart health, antibacterial and antiviral, and so much more. Available in easy-to-take capsules, great-tasting gummies, and our special coffee blends.
Since adding these mushrooms to my daily routine, my cholesterol levels have improved, and I feel more confident about my heart health.
Taking one of these blends before bed has been a game changer. I fall asleep faster and I wake up feeling truly refreshed.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Thanks for tuning in to Naturally Inspired Radio, where we expose what's broken in the healthcare system, connect you to real health solutions, and inspire you to take back control of your life. We want to help you feel empowered, informed, and free to live naturally without fear, confusion, or dependency. That's our whole mission here with Naturally Inspired. Part of that mission, too, includes community commerce. This is a term that I've coined. True community commerce supports small business, right? And it's a mutual relationship back and forth. That's what makes strong communities. So supporting local and independent health solution fuels long-term wellness. So you want to shop smarter and support this show at the same time? Ready to try what we trust? Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com to connect with our community partners. Our partners like Agresca's Carbon 60 for detox, Heal Your Gut with Good Brew, reduce pain with Joint Restore, detox, lose weight, and get parasite help with Inside Health. You also can get trauma support with anxiety, PTSD, and addiction from Living Well Nutrition. And you can eat clean with Pumpkin Creek Ranch with the best beef around, in my opinion. It's all we eat here at the house. It's all my daughter will eat. Wonderful tasting beef from Pumpkin Creek Ranch. So support local, everybody. You want to plug into these small businesses, small American businesses. That's what keeps our communities strong and thriving. Okay, let's get back to some of the stuff that Glenn Beck was saying, because it's so weird. I listened to these conversations. I was listening to part of a podcast last night with Jordan Peterson, and some of his ideas, I'm like, I actually said that. And so I think the thing is that we all have a sense, common sense, and it's really pretty obvious if we silence the noise out there. We can really come down to some pretty common sense conclusions. It's just so dang loud out there, and everyone's yelling and it's got to be this way, and political correctness. And I don't want to say that because I want to control how people perceive me. And I want, it's like everyone's trying to control everything. But there really is a foundation of just like common sense that if we just respected it, we could all get along a whole lot better. We could. So Glenn Beck was talking more about this whole thing, like this huge document comes out, 500 and some pages. It completely exposes everything we've been saying, everything I was deplatformed for, everything I was censored for. It's pretty much all in there. The only thing that's not in there is the vaccine thing, right? How the vaccine was dangerous and how it was causing adverse reactions. That's the only thing that wasn't in the lab leak documents. Interesting. I think that's coming. Once the science has been conducted through the HHS. You got to have the data in order to be able to make the claim. Even though we know, right? We know. So frustrating. But anyway, it just made me feel a little less crazy. Just a little less crazy to hear Glenn Beck talking about this issue of like, why aren't people not responding to this? Here's the second clip.
Is the cover up. I think.
Yeah, that's the real. I mean, it always is.
You're right. We said a lot of these things in the months after COVID came out, and a lot of it really early, frankly. But part of the problem as to why it didn't become, I think, the consensus at the time was all of these institutional mainstream sources disagreeing with it, right? And no offense
and
to
the fact, I mean, Stu, we couldn't say anything about COVID and not get banned and demonetized. I mean, we, all the shows that we did, unless you were a member of the Blaze, you didn't see them. Because we put them online and you didn't see them.
Yeah, and to be clear, our solution to that problem was to say it anyway and get banned and demonetized. Which, again, what else are you going to do? I don't know why else we would have this job if you're not going to go for that. But there was that situation where we were saying it, and sure people in this audience heard it, and yes, some people on the right were familiar with the skepticism and the pushback on this stuff. But because none of these mainstream media outlets really adopted any of those positions or took them seriously or even gave them a fair hearing, a lot of people just, understandably, if you're on the left, you're looking at this stuff and you see, okay, well, Glenn Beck's saying it. I'm not going to believe it. The New York Times is saying it's a conspiracy theory. I'm not surprised they just believed that. That cover up where people right under Fauci are on record saying they want to delete the emails so that they can't, so that no one finds out about what they're talking about. That sort of stuff, while I think the lab leak theory and some of those other pieces of skepticism that the conservative side had early on have been very much vindicated, the cover up as to why it needed to be vindicated has.
It's just amazing. First of all, my thought is the media just really had a huge part in COVID. They had a huge part. Without the media, we wouldn't have had the outcomes we had. We wouldn't have had the division that we had. We wouldn't have had the deaths that we had. We wouldn't have had the fear. We wouldn't have had a lot of the things, right? So here's the thing, like, how did the media let that happen? I think some people think, well, it's because the media is funded by pharma. And it is. It totally is. But I just don't think that's all. I don't think that's all of it. I don't think that, they just get funded and, because there'd be some good people in there that would just like take the opportunity to say something, about some of the stuff that they were being fed. No. What I think is that many of these media people are actually operatives. I know it sounds crazy, doesn't it? I'm going to get that tinfoil hat out again. But I do. I think they're operatives. I think they act as operatives or agents for specific entities, whether that be corporations or whether that be governmental institutions, whatever. I don't know, but it just doesn't make any sense that they would all be regurgitating the same lines and promoting the same course of action, even though the data and the actual product websites say didn't make those claims. They didn't make those claims. And it was only on TV land where things were being said that, take this injection and the poison and the virus stops with you. That was in TV land. That wasn't actually in, the product maker's language. No, it was these actors on TV that were, they're given a stage that resembles the news and resembles, we're an independent agency here informing you with the news. No, it just doesn't make sense. It makes more sense to me that they were actually acting on behalf of these entities, the corporations, the government entities that were wanting a very specific outcome. That makes more sense, right? That makes a whole lot more sense. This is why we got the rants from some of the Keith Olbermanns and people like that, right? Because what do you care, right? What do you care? I think there was more to it there, and I hope that someone inquires into it, does a little investigating maybe, and we can reconfigure media as well, because we have a lot of broken systems now, right? We have the political system. We saw the cracks in that. We see our governmental systems that are, riddled with fraud and, all kinds of discrepancies. So that's broken. The healthcare system, obviously, big problem. Lot of broken systems. And one of those systems is the media. That's how what happened was able to happen. That's how people were coerced into taking a poison injection. And I don't think that should just be swept under the rug either. There were people, I was out here trying to make videos. Glenn Beck was out there trying to make videos. They just weren't getting to you. That seems wrong and a punishable offense, in my opinion. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. Stay tuned. Up next, our health topic. We're going to talk insulin resistance. You got to know this. Stay tuned.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
So 3 things I want to remind you about. One is Naturally Inspired Radio is available 24/7. So shortly after this show ends, Jason will take it and put it directly onto our Rumble channel. So you can catch all the latest episodes right there on that channel. Go to Rumble and just search Naturally Inspired Radio 24/7 and it'll come up. But please, 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 please make sure you subscribe, because we're getting thousands of views and people haven't hit that subscribe button. And the way that we reach more people with this message, which this is such an important message, right? People need to connect to real solutions for health. It is so important. Without that subscription, we can't reach as many people because the algorithm, pushes it out. The more subscribers we have, the more we reach people with this powerful message. So do us that little favor, please, please, please. Would be so grateful if you did. The second thing I want to remind you of is that Naturally Inspired weekly cohort coaching is available now. So I'm putting together these powerful groups. The first one is Raising Healthy Unmedicated Children. This is huge, right? Learning how to cook for your family, learning how to support your child in their optimum health journey. This will give them the tools as they grow up to live in prevention their whole life. They'll never know anything else. That's how my kids are. They don't know anything else. They know that food's garbage. They don't eat it. They're both athletes. They haven't been to the doctor forever, because they know how to take care of themselves. And I want to pass that information on to you and empower you with that information. Second thing is we have lifestyle transformation with weight loss. This is also doesn't need to be as hard as people think it does. Weight loss. I can help. So get in that track if you need it. And we have COVID trauma recovery and emotional healing. A lot of people's really struggling with a lot of pain and suffering from what happened through COVID. And I believe the road through that is community and connecting with your community. So we're going to support that community and offer solutions in that topic, on that topic as well. And then gut health reset and metabolic repair. Of course, we're always talking about gut health here. It's so important. It is so important, such a pillar in your health. If your gut is not healthy and you have an unhealthy gut microbiome, really hard to get in front of that inflammation and get on a good healing journey. So just text me 720-303-8868. I'll get you on the wait list. We're going to compile these groups and we're going to get going, and we're going to make America healthy again, actually, through these groups. All right, let's get down to our health topic today is about insulin resistance. I heard on a podcast yesterday, I was telling you, I was listening to a little bit of Jordan Peterson's recent podcast, and he was talking, I think he did some testifying in Congress about health and whatnot recently. And he himself is a carnivore and has helped his daughter go into remission and heal from really, really bad arthritis. And he had autoimmune conditions that have been healed through this way of life, and his wife as well. And, he said a very bold statement on this podcast I was listening to last night. He said that insulin resistance is really the root cause of the chronic disease epidemic. Couldn't agree more. What we are eating is creating the epidemic. Now, we have a lot of other variables in there, right? There's the medicine we're taking, there's the injections, right? There's stuff being sprayed in the air. But the one thing that we really have control over is what we put in our mouths. And so this is the biggest bulk of where we can make change and make America healthy again, is by helping people understand that this even exists. A lot of people have never even heard of insulin resistance, right? They've never even heard of it. So what is it? Insulin resistance is a metabolic imbalance. It's characterized by a loss of blood glucose control, leading to elevated blood sugar levels linked to an increased risk of diabetes, vision problems, and kidney diseases. It's from poor lifestyle habits. It's from sedentary lifestyle. It's from carrying too much weight. It's from eating nutrient bankrupt food on autopilot because it doesn't contain the nutrients to make you feel full. And that's not your fault. You've been pitched a load of garbage. You've been pitched the food pyramid, for goodness sakes, right? Get your servings of whole grains and carbohydrates. In reality, the food pyramid needs to be turned upside down, right? We need protein. We need healthy fats. So what are some of the symptoms of insulin resistance? There are very few signs and symptoms in the early stages of this condition. So many people have no idea that it's going on in them. But here are some things that might help you understand what might be going on. Weight gain is one. Incessant hunger, grazing all the time. Cravings for sugar, cravings for carbohydrates. You're always tired. Even though you sleep, you're still tired. Increased thirst. Frequent need to urinate. This is a big one. High blood pressure is another one. There are other factors as well, like skin tags. These are a big part of being able to detect it. Now, you can get a test to check, if you're insulin resistant. Unfortunately, most insurances don't cover it. So what I tell people is, like, if you have all of these things, if you're overweight, if you're always tired, why not try an approach, a strategy to bring you out of this state, right? Why not? There are no approved medications to treat insulin resistance. Well, that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. But you can make an impact on it when you adopt a healthy diet, low in carbohydrate, when you lose body weight, and that helps you restore your metabolic health. There's a study published in the Journal of Physiology found that even modest weight loss, and I think people don't understand this too, that even at 5 pounds, if you lose 5 pounds, it can put your blood pressure in a whole different category from being, high risk to being moderate risk or even no risk. Just 5 pounds. So once you start seeing those results, it's really motivating, right, for you to do more. And a lot of people think that they have to lose 50 pounds before they're going to see any results. It's not the case. Many times, the body's so awesome. I say it all the time. It's so awesome. It responds with even just a little bit of effort. So 5 ways that you can improve your insulin sensitivity. You get into this vicious cycle of high blood insulin levels, which can further desensitize the cells. It exacerbates insulin resistance and contributes to persistently high blood sugar levels. In addition to its role in blood sugar control, insulin signals liver cells to convert excess blood sugar into fat. This is where we get into the fatty liver disease, right? The non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And we're seeing that in children now. So what can you do about it? Practicing intermittent fasting is a wonderful tool for this. So one of the most popular kind of ratios is a 16-hour fast and an 8-hour eating window. And that sounds like a lot maybe to some people, but think about you're supposed to be sleeping 8 of those hours. I know many of you do not get 8 hours of sleep, but insulin resistance could literally be the cause of the reason why you're not sleeping. You see how this is a vicious cycle. So you have to work to curate a lifestyle that supports all of these things, that will help bring your body out of this state. So it's really important to try to get 8 hours of sleep. 16 hours of fasting, 8 of those hours are sleeping. The other 8, can start when you wake up in the morning. If you pack your exercise in the morning, if you pack your work in the morning, keep yourself occupied and break fast later in the afternoon. And then, you can enjoy dinner and eating in that 8-hour window. It is said to have a profound effect on insulin resistance. It depletes blood glucose and forces the body to utilize body fat to generate energy, which induces a metabolic state known as ketosis. And I think that's what we're going to end up seeing with our food pyramid. I think we're going to end up seeing a food pyramid that reflects more of a keto diet. That's one of the ways you can help bring your body out of insulin resistance. Prioritize that sleep, as I said. Control stress. Cortisol impacts your blood glucose levels. And make sure you're getting appropriate nutrients. Supplement. You have to supplement these days. You've been watching Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. Thanks so much for joining me.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. NaturallyInspiredRadio.com.